LAKM 623, Lakota Leadership and Professional Development, a critique for Chapter 13, Contingency Theories of Leadership, by Natasha Eaglestar. Mitako Yapi, Natasha Wichampi Wambli Imachiapi Shto, Naha Yu Hanchante Washte Anape Chiuzape. My summary main point number 1 is the leader-member exchange theory. There is stages in this theory. There's a role-taking stage that happens early in the follower's work experience. The leaders offer opportunities and evaluate the follower's performance and potential. There's a role-making area where a role is created based on a process of trust building. This is a fragile stage. Um, followers are being assigned from the in-group to the out-group during this time, and this is when leaders are really looking at people. In routinization, this relationship becomes well established. There are similarities and differences from the in-group and out-group, and those become very apparent. This is also the simplest of the contingency models that are brought out in Chapter 13. And during this and in this theory, it states that the leader develops a special relationship with all of the workers in the model, not just a few. My summary main point number 2 is the normative decision theory. This was designed to improve some aspects of leadership and effectiveness. There are levels of participation, and they range from autocratic to democratic. And all members of the group have equal participation. The decision quality and acceptance. They evaluate adequacy of the decisions made. And the decision quality means simply that the decision has a rational or objectivity domain are determinable in matter or worse. The alternative is the leader should select another alternative. There's a decision acceptance. Followers accept the decision as if it were their own. And there's also a decision tree. That's a series of questions with paths with a yes or no answer. And there's several issues that arise out of this model. There are different arguments, and it's just not a very good decision model for the leader-follower. My summary main point number 3 is a situational leadership model. This model offers answers to two important leadership questions. Is there an optimum way for leaders to adjust their behavior with different followers and thereby increase their likelihood of success? And if so, what factors should the leader base his behavior on? And task behaviors, it's the extent to which a leader spells out the responsibilities of an individual or group. The relationship behaviors, how much a leader engages in two-way communication, and that includes listening, encouraging, facilitating, clarifying, explaining why a task is important, and giving support. There's follower readiness and a follower's ability and willingness to accomplish a particular task. And in order for this model to work, the follower must be willing to accomplish a particular task, and any particular task. The situation leadership model is a useful way for leaders to think about how leadership effectiveness may depend somewhat on being flexible with different subordinates and not acting the same way towards all of them. So in this model, the leader doesn't create special relationships or anything. It's just that he just kind of molds himself to all the different subordinates and all the different things that they show him. The summary main point number 4 is the contingency model. It maintains that leaders are consistent with behaviors. This model suggests that leader effectiveness is primarily determined by selecting the right kind of leader for a certain situation or changing the situation to fit a particular leader's style. This model identifies traits about the leader rather than the followers, so it bases more everything on the leader rather than looking at followers and how they react and stuff. The situational favorability is the amount of control the leader has over the followers. Leader-member relations is the most powerful of the three elements in determining overall situational favorability. Task structure is a success in potency in determining overall situation favorability, and then position power is the weakest of the three elements of educational favorability. And in this model, it just maintains that the leader has one behavior and it's consistent across the board with everybody. My summary main point number 5 is the path goal theory, and that deals with expectancy. It deals with understanding motivation, where people calculate effort to performance probabilities. Like if I study for 12 hours, what's the probability of getting an A? Things like that. And the most fundamental level is the affected leader will provide or ensure the availability of valuable rewards for followers, and that's the goal. And then help them and find the best way of getting there. So they create a goal, and then they create a path to get to that goal for all the followers. Depending on the followers and the situation, these different follower behaviors increase followers' acceptance of the leader. And then the leader's actions are supported due to the followers seeing the leader's action as satisfactory, or that future satisfaction will come out of those actions. My evaluation of this chapter is it has lots of information on different theories concerning a leader's behavior when it comes to their followers. However, I do believe that the theories, although they have been rewritten, is waiting for someone to prove them wrong yet again and rewrite them again. And after all, a chapter is based on theories and what a leader can do if a situation happens. The language is very clear and concise, and the definition of the terms is to the point, and there could be more explaining on the theories. I believe the logic and organization of the chapter is clear, and the accuracy of the information is really good. My response is I agree with this chapter and the theories, and think that the author has a right idea about leadership and followers based on the different theories. And I will be referring back to the book and utilizing it as a reference for future use, because I do like the 5 theories that come out in this chapter. The author gives a lot of information about each theory, as well as clear definitions, and I really enjoyed reading this chapter because it was so easy to understand. My conclusion is the overall importance of this chapter is to understand the different theories of leadership and followers, and those leadership behaviors towards the followers. It tells how to class each different leader based on the situation between them and followers. And the strengths of the chapter is that it has clear definitions and it has well-written logic. I believe the success of the work is due to how the theories have been studied and rewritten, and I really like this chapter. And Hechatu, that is all. Pilamia.